Oh yeah, that is quite bourbony. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the motherfucking Burglar Report. Another episode. Number one choice for news, politics, and that smooth motherfucking jazz. Got me a new microphone. I am super excited. Oh yeah, I'm of course I'm your host Dave Steppenwolf. We're gonna get into the weeds a little bit today. We're gonna get into some weird conspiracies that I might be kind of into. I don't fucking know. Okay, I don't want to believe it, but there's questions. We're gonna get into a few of my questions, not all the questions, because I don't want to be here all fucking night asking questions. I'm somebody coming to for answers. Okay, you want answers? Tune into my show. I'll give you some fucking answers. There's a few things about this flat Earth. It's not cooperating. It's a mask. Every time I do a video, I got a fresh haircut, so it's like putting a mask on. It's like fucking Velcro across my bald head, or shaved head rather. In any case, okay. What are we talking about? Flat Earth. There are some weird ones. Like, I don't want to believe the flat Earth conspiracy theory, but it's just so tasty. It's just so great, you know. You have just everything's just fucking different. Especially with the giant trees. We're gonna get into the giant trees. The giant trees that go miles into the air, and you had the giants and all the cool stuff that lived in the past. The firmament and the ice wall, and everything's not what the fuck we're told. I am a skeptic. I'm a bit of a skeptic. I feel this itch coming on again. I think I might be allergic to this mask. It's polyester. In any case, let's check this out. Okay. We're going to go on with my number one question. I haven't really delved into the answer to this, but let's check this out. Follow me for a minute, and then we'll check it out. The stars in the sky are in the same fucking place every night. Why is that? If we are spinning roughly 1,200 miles an hour and traveling around the sun at about 66,000 miles an hour roughly, and just blasting through the Milky Way, chasing the sun. Also recently, the theories of saying we're doing a fucking corkscrew through the Milky Way, and it was like 3.4 billion miles a year or some shit. It's a crazy fucking speed. Maybe it's like 500,000 miles an hour. I forget. Why are the stars, the North Star specifically, been there for centuries in the same fucking spot? Why are they in the same location? The constellations, thousands of years, been in the same spot. The 12 signs of the zodiac, or 13 actually, if you include Ophiuchus, the snake handler, the healer. Why is that happening? Okay, let me show you a video. How we do this? This guy. Oh, hello, hi. Okay, this is a time lapse of stars in the sky taken in Arizona. Okay. Looking west into the setting sky. Okay, you can see this, right? Everything's doing the rotation thing. Okay, it's got some music apparently. Turn that down. Look at it. See? Look at this. Right there. Or you can't see me pointing. Fuck. You got the North Star, Polaris, right in the fucking center. Everything's rotating around it. Okay, that is not how that should look. That is definitely not how that should look. Look at that. Same shit. All the stars are in straight fucking lines around the North Star. This video goes on and on. Same shit. Look at that. Different fucking area on the Earth. I gotta go back. No, not you. Oh, crap and a half. Did I fuck that up? Oh, we're back. I was pressing the wrong buttons. Sorry, guys, my first day. Why does it do that? Like I said, I haven't looked into the reason as to why, my own research as how that happens. But you've seen Polaris in the center, and just perfectly circular stars rotating around that. Okay, if we're doing one of these things on an axis, okay, and then one of these things around the sun, and so we're spinning and doing this, and then we're going through the fucking Milky Way like this. Those little lines around Polaris should look like a fucking spirograph. It should be like fucking squiggles and all kinds of shit, and Polaris shouldn't be in the same fucking spot every single night. That you can line up, for thousands of years, because you can look at ancient structures, ancient pyramids. The pyramids of Giza lines up with the belt of Orion, God. Where's the explanation for that? If we're doing all kinds of, is the entire, these are supposedly different star systems from different galaxies. We should be all going different fucking directions. They should have their own fucking rotations and whatever they're doing. They shouldn't be following us. Pretty fucking weird, right? You following me on this one? It doesn't make sense. It kind of broke my brain a little bit to realize it doesn't make sense. And why I never noticed it until I'm on that dark conspiracy TikTok. I see some wild videos. But that one kind of really stuck with me. I'm like, okay. There's that. There's pyramids all over the world. Stonehenge, same shit. It lines up with different not celestial events, but like the summer solstice, winter solstice, the equinox. There's pyramids in South America. On Eastern Island, there's different stone structures that line up with those yearly events. Still, hundreds and thousands of years after they've been built. Although, those be more in line with the sun. But the recently exploded Georgia Guidestones. It had a hole in it. You could see the North Star. Polaris. Every fucking night. Same spot. Does not make sense. If we are on a globe spinning through this wonderful universe, how do the stars stay in the same place? How was that? Or how do satellites work, for that matter? Follow-up question. If you have your satellite set atop your house in a certain direction, but that thing is supposedly orbiting the fucking planet, is there like a team of satellites up there that are just bouncing around a signal? Very much could be. But if that stationary satellite on the house is only going to one fucking spot, how does it catch a signal if the satellite's fucking orbiting? Or even a team of satellites orbiting? Huh? How is that? Okay? That's another question. Haven't looked into the answer to. This is an episode of fucking questions. Maybe the satellites are thrown up there and just sit in one fucking spot. And we just are told something else. And those moving stars aren't satellites. It's fucking surveillance. Something else. Surveillance blimps. Oh, that's a satellite. Oh, yeah, that looks like a satellite. Okay. I think the old satellites used to actually move around to look for signal. I know some of the more advanced ones do. So why do you, like DirecTV and Dish Network, I don't know if that's still around, just stay in one spot and aim at the sky? Unless they're aiming at some far off fucking tower that's fucking signaling shit. Which makes sense. If the Earth was flat, you wouldn't have to go with a curvature. You just shoot it off into a distance and something will catch it. Kind of thing. Maybe. Bit of a stretch. But so is a lot of the shit we're told. What else? Did I take notes? I didn't take notes today. I don't take notes anymore. One. Sorry. We do this unscripted, and I thought I wrote something down, but I don't know. Whatever. Who's a shit? I mean, I understand the basic models of gravity. Theory, still, that something is so massive that it kind of creates a bend or a dip in, space-time. Kind of comes down, weighs it down a little bit. Like say the sun weighing down, and now you have this bowl, and we just, like a Russian roulette table, just kind of just orbit the sun, which doesn't make sense because you would think that slowly we would get closer to the sun. And yet we also have elliptical orbits that aren't perfectly circular. Kind of fucking weird. So gravity, the theory of gravity doesn't make sense to me. It never did. Not since I read a book called Electric Universe, and electromagnetism is close to a million times stronger than gravity, and that makes more sense to me. If the sun was some kind of, or is some kind of electromagnet thing and shooting off ions, and all the planets are magnets, north-south pole, and we're just in a continuous, like, electric fucking engine going around and around, that makes more sense. It kind of goes against the flat earth thing, but that just makes more sense against the gravitational model. I don't know. It's all fucking weird. That's the way I see things. Ooh, my goodness. Oof. That's a daddy drink, I tell you, son. I did want to show a video. Oh, since we're on top of flat earth, let's look at flat earth trees. Let's look at these fucking things. Flat earth trees. These are really fucking cool, I thought. You had these comparisons with tree stump and a mesa. Now they say that happens from magma. Just a magma plume just randomly shot out and just was flat as fuck. Nowhere do you see that like this. That looks like a tree. That looks like a tree. I believe it's the same picture. Here's a good comparison. You have a broken up tree and you have a broken up mountain cliff thing that looks like a fucking tree. Very interesting. And here, of course, is a small picture. These were mile-high trees, and you have the firmament. This is flat Earth. Sucks that they got tied together. You know what? I think I'm going to say I might just be all in with this flat Earth, just because... Why not? I haven't had proof otherwise. You can... I mean, we all know the air is out there, and we can just fucking breathe it in and out. And I'm sure somebody can pull up a video of someone isolating an air molecule in an electron microscope, but until I do it myself, I'm skeptical. That's it. I'm just fucking skeptical. Let me see if we can find some more flat Earth trees. Oh, buddy. All of a sudden, the damn trees want to not be there. That's a decent one. Not really. I mean, mesa, tree trunk, tree stump, same shit. It doesn't make... Oh, this is actual fucking... What is that? Looks like a tree formation and a giant X. And that's supposed to be created by erosion and magma, or that just randomly happened? No explanation. Oh, this is a crazy one down in South America, maybe? Looks like a fucking giant tree stump. And you got shit growing on top of it. Fucking weird. I don't know. Whatever, that's enough of that. Oh, damn it. See, I clicked the thing before I clicked the thing. A little rusty. In any case. What else? Oh, the moon was another weird one. We're just going deep in it today. Let me show you a quick 5-minute video. I did have it pulled up, I believe. You and you. Okay, here we go. Wait, double check. Nope, see, I didn't even fucking do it right. That would have sucked. Not that one. This one. This is a good one. Let me tune you into that. Is the moon an artificial satellite?
In 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first man to ever set foot on the moon. But one of the most famous legends that came out of this moon landing was from a missing 2 minutes of audio transmission that was being broadcast live on national television. As legend has it, during this missing 2 minutes, Neil Armstrong had apparently switched his radio over to the medical channel, which was not public, and had apparently said this to NASA. "These babies are huge, sir. Oh God, you wouldn't believe it. I'm telling you, there are other spacecraft out there lined up on the far side of the crater's edge. They're on the moon watching us." Now, this legend was confirmed by NASA engineer Otto Binder, who was monitoring the uncensored version of these radio frequencies during the mission. But despite Otto's credibility, his claims were mostly written off by the media because NASA insisted that the only reason the audio cut out is because one of the cameras on board overheated, thus interfering with the reception. That is until in 1979, Maurice Chatelain, former chief of NASA communications, wrote in his book, "Moments before Armstrong stepped down the ladder to set foot on the moon, 2 UFOs hovered overhead. Edwin Aldridge took several pictures of them. Some of these photographs have been published in the June 1975 issue of Modern People magazine. The encounter was common knowledge in NASA, but nobody talked about it until now." Now, whether or not this legend is true, the moon itself is a very bizarre space object. For example, the moon is about 1/4 the size of the planet Earth, making it the 5th largest moon in our entire solar system. No other planet that we're aware of has a moon that's that big relative to the size of the planet it's orbiting. Which brings us to the orbit. Did you know that the same side of the moon is always facing the Earth? This is because the moon rotates exactly one time for every one orbit that it takes around the planet Earth. Meaning that every time you've ever looked at the moon in your entire life, you've always seen the exact same thing. So if you think about it, the only people who have ever seen the backside of the moon with their own eyes are the Apollo astronauts. And what's crazier is that if you took the distance between the Earth and the moon and you divided it by the diameter of the moon, you get the number 108. And ironically, if you did the same for the sun, taking the distance from Earth, dividing it by its diameter, you also get the number 108. And because of this ratio, during a solar eclipse, the moon perfectly blocks out the sun to the millimeter, because the moon is exactly 400 times smaller than the sun and is 400 times closer to Earth than the sun, which is kind of crazy to think about when you realize the significance of this number 108. The radius of the moon itself is 1,080 miles, a multiple of 108. This temple in Cambodia, built in the 12th century, has exactly 108 towers, and the Hindu and the Buddhist religions consider the number 108 as the basis of creation, representing our existence in the universe. But here's what really gets me. If any of these weird moon coincidences did not exist, then neither would life on planet Earth as we know it. There would be no tides, there would be no seasons, and there would likely be no intelligent life, leading many people to believe that maybe the moon was put there by some other form of intelligence, which is
maybe I should move this over here when I talk.
Because there are ancient cultures that have been around for tens of thousands of years which talk about a time before the moon. Aristotle, for example, wrote about a group of people called the Proselynes, which translates directly to those that were before the moon in Greek. Tribesmen of the Chibcha Indian tribe of Colombia speak of the early times when the moon was not yet in the heavens. And the Zulu tribe of Africa speaks about the moon symbolically as an egg because the insides were hollowed out like egg yolk. That way it could be used as a base to watch over the humans. According to their legend, it came from a reptilian race led by
the Death Star is fully operational.
Who, quote, stole the moon from the Python and positioned it where it is. Prior to this, the Zulus say the Earth was shrouded in a watery mist which came raining down to Earth when the moon was put into orbit. Now this next part is what really fucks with my head. There is real evidence from the NASA moon missions suggesting that the moon may in fact be hollow like the Zulu believed. You see, in 1969, during the Apollo 12 missions, just months after the Apollo 11 moon landing, NASA made an impact crater on the moon in a planned crash of the rocket that helped them get back off the surface when they were returning home, and they crashed it near some seismographs that they had set up. And they did this so that way they could use the seismographs to measure the data that came in just to get a better idea of how dense the moon was. And upon impact, the seismic results showed that the moon reverberated like a bell for over an hour. This result obviously shocked scientists because the moon is largely made of a rock called basalt, and basalt itself is a lightweight rock that absorbs impacts very well. Therefore, it shouldn't reverberate like a bell when you hit it. So after this result, Dr. Werner von Braun, who's the former head of NASA, he decided that in the next mission on Apollo 13, they were going to crash a bigger portion of the rocket into the moon just to see if they got a similar result. And when they did this, the moon rang like a gong for over 3 hours into a depth of 20 miles. Now, this was was immediately played down by NASA because the idea of the moon being hollow
weird.
literally contradicts our understanding of how
The second time watching this, still fucking blows my mind.
Scientists believe that the moon was formed because of a Mars-sized planet which crashed into Earth, coalescing into the rock that we now know as the moon. But this is just a theory, and if the moon were in fact hollow, it would immediately disprove that theory. In fact, Carl Sagan, who's basically the Neil deGrasse Tyson of the night.
Pause it for a minute. Going back to my conversation or topic of gravity. The moon can control our tides, but obviously it's been struck many times by asteroids and debris and whatever hitting it. Why doesn't it have the gravitational force to to collect the dust? You know, like Saturn has the rings. Why doesn't the moon have rings? It's obviously pockmarked by countless meteorite strikes. Just question. This is a video of questions.
1960s, he wrote in his book called Intelligent Life in the Universe that a natural satellite like the moon cannot be hollow, and if it is, then it must be artificial. And this conclusion was backed by two Russian scientists, Michael Vassin and Alexander Sherbakov, who published an article in Sputnik magazine with their conclusion saying that the moon is an artificial Earth satellite put into orbit around the Earth by some intelligent beings unknown to ourselves. Which brings me to some of the evidence that they point out as to why they think the moon might be artificial. The first thing that we got to look at are the craters. Upon further examination, it's very obvious that many of the moon's craters are in fact convex instead of concave. Now, if you assume that these craters were formed by impacts, like most craters tend to be, then they would naturally be concave, like many of the craters that we see on planet Earth or other planets like Mars. That is, unless at a certain depth, the surface of the moon is so hard that it can withstand impact after impact for millions of years without caving in, which seems like a crazy conclusion because when you compare the moon's craters side by side, no matter how wide the crater is, these craters almost always seem to go to roughly the same depth. Interestingly enough, on the Apollo missions, they tried to dig into one of these craters and they were barely able to penetrate the surface of the moon because at a certain depth, they were drilling into pure metal. So they collected a lot of these samples of moon dust from around the crater and on the edge of the crater, and what they found shocked them. Certain lunar samples contained up to 10% titanium, which is surprising because the highest abundance of titanium-rich minerals on Earth rarely if ever exceed 1%. And they also found other processed metals like mica and brass, as well as radioactive elements such as uranium-236 and neptunium, none of which occur naturally on planet Earth. So this brings up the question, why have we not heard about these results, or at least the significance of some of these results? The hollow nature, the rare metals, the perfect size and orbit for life, the ancient legends of a time before the moon. If any one of these were true, it would change our understanding of reality. But if all of them were true, then you'd have to be awful stubborn to believe that it's just a coincidence that happened to occur naturally. And since the Apollo missions ended, many people believe that NASA knows something about the moon that they're not willing to tell the public. Evidence of this conclusion appears in a report from the Brookings Institute called The Implications of a Discovery of Extraterrestrial Life, where they basically stated that if they ever found signs of intelligent life, they should not tell the public in order to avoid mass panic. So given the Brookings report, if they did in fact find something on the moon, this could
I don't think it'd be to avoid mass panic. It would be the government's no longer the top dog. That's the main reason why UFOs and all that have been denied. Part of it is government secret projects. The other part of it is government wants the man on top. They want to be your daddy. They want to be your God. And there's definitely a great creation to all this, and clearly there's something going on the moon here. I mean, I'd say that's kind of lends credence to the flat Earth kind of thing. If the moon was set up there in the firmament, perhaps. I mean, I don't know if we've been on the other side of it or not. This person suggests the astronauts seen the backside of it. I don't fucking know. Could be possible. Maybe they fucking seen it. I don't fucking know. Okay? Let's finish this up. It's almost over. Great video. I love it.
Possibly explain the body language and demeanor of the Apollo 11 astronauts in a press conference that they did when they returned to planet Earth, where you can see that they visibly look nervous, agitated, on edge, almost as if they know something that they're not allowed to talk about, or they saw something that scared the crap out of them. And here's what's interesting. This Brookings report came out in the year 1960, 9 years before we ever landed on the moon. Who was the president in 1960? Dwight D. Eisenhower, which is interesting because he's the first ever president to allegedly have had a handshake agreement with extraterrestrials extraterrestrials in 1952, and I tell the entire story of how this happened in this video right here. Go check it out.
Oh, I'll be checking it out. Oh, yeah, hold on. What is that guy? Oh, whoa, take it easy, take it. Get back there, pal. Sorry. Oh, can't control myself. Microphones they're attached to me. That is, of course, MindFKD, Mindfucked, with Patrick James. MindFKD is his channel. His shit is phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie. I've gone down some rabbit holes, but he just puts it all together and fucking just nails it. So, I guess that's my video for today. What do we cover? Oh my goodness, we got the flat earth and the weird fucking gravity stuff and the stars. The fucking moon. Who knows what the fucking moon is? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? We don't know. Rang like a bell for 3 hours. Okay? No moon that I know rings like a bell. I'm just saying. I know some moons, and they don't fucking ring at all. In any case, like, subscribe, follow, and I will see you tomorrow with a, not with this, something else. You have a great night. Hold on, there it is.